Welcome back to Fast RC, buddy. My name is Ryan. This week's episode of RC Weekly, we got an update on the Losi NASCAR. Plus, we got an update on our Arrma Big Rock 6S that we speculated about last week. And, of course, we got the hottest sales in RC, so stick around. I'll see you on the other side of the intro. Alright, first up for today, we're going to talk about the Losi NASCAR, and it looks like they just revealed the third livery for 2025, and that is the Ryan Blaney Edition, black number 12. And if you're not familiar with Losi NASCARs, these are 4x4 on-road cars that are 1/10 scale, but from the pictures, they look pretty decent size. But they are 1/10 or 1/12 scale, built on the Grom platform, coming in at $249.99. Definitely check it out. So far they've revealed 3 out of the 7 liveries for 2025. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and stick around, because each time they come out, I'll make sure you know about it. So that's it for this update. Let's go ahead and get to the next one. All right, next update, we are gonna go back to last week's episode where we speculated about the Arrma Big Rock 6S potentially being discontinued because of the 2 massive price drops we've seen in the last month. And what do you know? The very next week, this thing is discontinued. Bummer. But shout out to all the people that watched last week's video and commented about it and kind of gave your speculation. I think a bunch of us were right in expecting this thing to be discontinued. It's just kind of the trend that we pointed out. And there's actually somebody in the comment that mentioned the Arrma Fire Team actually did the same thing, went on a huge massive discount down to like $400, and then next week or next month it was discontinued. So it looks like the Big Rock 6S is the next model to be discontinued. Now, like I asked last week, it's discontinued, but really, like, is it going away for good or not? I am willing to venture to say that the Big Rock will be back at some point. That's just my guess. Probably with a different clipless system or some other updates, who knows? But for now, Big Rock 6S is discontinued. You can see it on the screen. Let's get to the next update. All right, next update's from Team Associated, and we got another RC10 vintage re-release. This one is the Cliff Lett edition, so it's the RC10T Truggy. But check it out, for a championship winning Formula Truggy from the early 90s. Looks pretty cool. I definitely like the color scheme and the way the chassis looks with that bright orange. But if you're into the vintage RC10s, might be something you want to check out. Price is coming in at $419.99 on the Team Associated website. Let's get to the next update. And another new release from this last week, we got the MJX Bronco R. So it's a 1/12 scale solid axle type of truck. Almost looks like a scale crawler, but pretty nice. Like some of the videos I've seen from other bigger YouTube channels that have reviewed this vehicle from last week, highly detailed, highly scale looking body, which I thought was really interesting. And being a 1/12, it's slightly smaller than that 1/10 scale. I don't know, just interesting looking truck. From the pictures, it's quite striking, I'll say that. But go ahead and check it out. Price, and then on the price front, I was a little bit surprised. I'm seeing this thing online anywhere from $205 to $250. Kind of interesting price, not too expensive, especially for that kind of detail. I'll be the first to admit I'm not too experienced with MJX vehicles. I've never owned one, but just on the cover looks pretty interesting. All right, let's move on to the next update. All right, let's try this for the third time. Got new bodies from J Concepts, and it's for the X-Ray XB2 for 2025. And those bodies are as listed: the S15, the S2, the F2, and the P2 bodies. Whew, finally got that one out. All right, and the next update have from Hi-Tech. They have their 50th anniversary servo, which I thought was pretty interesting. Saw that, I think, on Facebook. I don't know if anyone in this, that's watching this video has used Hi-Tech servos at all. I know that was a pretty big brand when I got back into the hobby back in early 2010s. I still have some Hi-Tech servos, but I thought this was interesting. Hi-Tech's been around forever. And next update, we have a new ESC from Team Coyote. It is the Coyote Crest RS120 ESC. Not too familiar with Team Coyote. I know they're pretty new, and they have a real new partnership with Alien Hobbies recently. So interested. Haven't owned one yet, but thought it looked interesting. And the reason why I added it to this video is because I wanted to comment on the color scheme. I really like that teal blue with the black. Looks pretty slick. And so that's all I got for updates. Let's go ahead and get the sales. All right, so let's save some cash. So buckle up. We have a Father's Day sale from Horizon Hobbies. And thanks to Horizon Hobbies, they released the Father's Day sale one day after I put out episode 10 of RC Weekly. So I'm a little bit late to the show, but let's go ahead and dive in because we have a lot to talk about. So first up, we have the Losi ProMoto MX. This is the Pro Circuit version with the battery and charger included at its lowest price that I've seen it since I've been tracking prices at $499.99. You can see the dashboard up on your screen. This is a pretty good sale for this vehicle, for this, Pro Moto in particular. If you're interested in that, it might be a good time to jump on it. Next one that I'm really interested in is the Losi Mini LMT Megalodon Edition with the battery and charger at its lowest price we've seen in quite a while at $219.99. And also with that, the Losi LMT Mini Gravedigger Edition is at its lowest price at $219.99, $80 off for both of those vehicles. Sticking with monster trucks, let's talk about the Gorgon, one of my favorite vehicles, probably hands down out of my little fleet, which isn't much, but the Gorgon, I drive that truck a ton. It is on sale this week at $169.99. This comes with the battery and charger included, so that's both RTR models, the red one and the highlighter yellowish green version, and then the kit version, which is all black, also on sale $169.99. You can see that on the dashboard. And then we got a couple of SCX 24s that are on sale. We have the Jeep Gladiator, which is $50 off, coming in at $100. Includes battery and charger, which all SCX 24s do, I think. And then there is the SCX 24 Lexus GX 470 coming in at $119.99. Pretty good sales there. It looks like these sales end on June 15th, so it's the 3rd today. Still got a little less than a couple weeks. Pretty good deals. Overall, I think that Pro Moto is definitely one to look at. The Megalodon's not bad. And then the Gorgon, $169.99. That's the price. That's the introductory price that when they first announced the Gorgon back in 2023, that was, you know, back to its introductory price at $169.99. So you might want to check it out. All right, and let's move on to the next sale. All right, I almost forgot to mention, a part of the Horizon Hobby sale for Father's Day, there are also a bunch of different Castle ESC motor combos that are on sale for the next couple weeks. In particular, there's this exact sale on this model here, which is the Cobra or Copperhead 10 on-road edition. So it's got the Copperhead ESC with the 6900 kV motor. I bought this thing from Horizon Hobbies for like 120 bucks last year. And on sale this year, it's about the same price, especially when you take off the, if you buy it from A-Main Hobbies, you can get like an additional $10 off with their coupon code, which gets this thing down to $130-ish. I'll put the price up on the screen, but Castle Creations on sale for Father's Day from Horizon Hobbies, and of course at A-Main Hobbies. Pretty good discounts, so if you're looking for a motor ESC, go ahead and check it out. All right, and for Red Cat, they still have their spring savings sale for 2025 going at the moment, so let's go ahead and dive into those vehicles real quick. I know I covered this last week, but we'll quickly cover it again because they got some pretty decent deals. So first up, they got the Red Cat Custom Hauler 1953 Chevrolet at $399.99. Next up, we got the Gen 9 Trail Truck International Harvester Scout 800 $289.99, and then we have the Red Cat Valkyrie Truggy Edition, $259.99. Behind that, we got the Valkyrie MT, which is the Monster Truck Edition, $259.99. And if you're into the drift scene, we have the Red Cat RDS 110. This is the RTR Edition at $199.99, and then also the RDS Builders Kit at $99.99, which I talked about last week, which is pretty steep price. That's like over 50% off, massive decrease in price. And then the last two things to talk about, they have a custom trailer on sale for $129.99, and they got the Red Cat MT18, which is like their 18 scale monster truck for $129.99. All right, and last but not least, we got to talk about Traxxs because they still have their super spring sale going on until the end of spring, whatever date that is. I should probably look up the date. It's got to be within the next week, right? Anyways, super spring sale is still going on. If you're getting a BL2S vehicle, like a Slash, anything on the BL2S, pretty much, you can get a free battery and charger with that combo. So take a look at that. And also their TRX4MT monster trucks are on sale right now. If you buy two, get $100 off. So go ahead and check those out if you're interested in Traxxs. And let's go ahead and get the Scratch and Dent. All right, welcome to my favorite section, the Scratch and Dent. So if you're not familiar with Scratch and Dent, these are Scratch and Dent vehicles from amainhobbies.com. So anything that I talk about in this segment, you can find on A-Main Hobbies. Go to Cars and Trucks, Kits, and filter out by Scratch and Dent, and you'll see a big old list of stuff. And I got a big old list this weekend, so we need to talk about it because this is going to take a while. Buckle up. So first up, we got to talk about, well, actually, backtrack a little bit. First up, I got to say the Red Cat monster truck that we've been talking about the last 6 weeks, it's finally been sold. It's finally gone. Somebody finally bit the bullet and bought that thing. Honestly, I'm just really happy for that Red Cat monster truck because I was starting to feel bad for that guy. He's been sitting on there for quite a while. So let's go ahead and dive into it. First up, the Axle UTB 18 Capra is still on the list. This thing's been on the list for quite a while. I'll go ahead and flash up the dashboard. I think we've been talking about this for at least 4-ish weeks, something. On sale for $219.99. It's 21% off. That's a pretty steep discount. Next up, the Kyosho EP Phaser MK2 Dodge Charger has been on the week. This has been on the list for at least 3 weeks now. $285.99, going down in price. Next up, Red Cat Custom Hauler, $459.99, it's 8% off. We got a couple of Arrma Big Rocks on sale too, both just under 8% off at $263.99. I would imagine these Big Rocks probably sold during the sale a couple weeks ago, and I don't know, maybe they got returned or something. Not really sure, but if you go and look at the description, it'll tell you actually, what's up with these things. It might just be open box or just a little bit of box damage or something like that. Next up, we have the Traxxs Mini Max. This is new to list, $251.99, just over 6.5% off. Next up, Arrma Limitless V2, $449.99, 4% off. And then all these other ones down the list, they look like they're new additions. So Red Cat Ascent 18 at $119.99. We had Traxxs TRX4M on the list at $159.95. Traxxs Drag Slash, no prep, $399.95. And then we got a Team Associated DR10 RTR. This is a drag race vehicle. Gosh, that's a lot. $515.99. I don't know what's up with that. And then next up, we have a TRX6. Ooh, that's interesting. $649.95. Used to have one of those. And then we have an Arrma Felony 6S at $699.99. And then we got an Traxxs X01 at $749.95. There's a lot of interesting vehicles on the list, like stuff I've never seen, in my time scratching it. But yeah, I just went through those rapid fire. There's a lot of great deals. I'd say definitely great deals at the top. That UTV has been sitting up there for a while. But I hope you guys got something out of it. It's pretty much all I got for RC Weekly. If you enjoy this content, I really, really appreciate it. If you actually made it to the end, if you could like and subscribe, it really helps out the channel. And of course, I'll be back next week for RC Weekly episode 12. And I'll see you there. Take care.